Hi everyone, I'm Ty, author of Southern Jewel, writer for Pretty Personality. I don't know how long this is going to be, but I had a lot of stuff that I wanted to say, and I didn't want to write it because I'm on my way somewhere else, and I really don't have that much time. And I would have did it on the computer, but my light bulb blew. I don't have time to change the light and do all that stuff, so I'm just going to say what I have to say. My sister's been telling me, well, you write so much, you do a video and share it and all this stuff. So but I'm careful about stuff like that. I'm not doing what I'm doing for likes or hits. But today, for some reason, I am so overwhelmed and so kind of emotional that I gotta share this stuff. Hopefully, if you can just bear with me. Like I said, I don't know how long this will be, but I wanted to definitely talk to people about not being afraid of change and not being afraid to participate in the changes that you want to see. Today I actually just submitted my information for a new job because today is my last day at the job that I'm at now. And a lot of people probably say, well, you just got this new job about 5 months ago. But one thing that I have learned is that when God says move, you move. A lot of times we hang on to the wrong things for a long time and we don't move. But then when it comes to something that will really help us, like our job or something like that, we stay still. Don't do that. Because you never know. Like our time is not God's time. And if he puts you in a place for a week and you give 100%, and in that week, he may send you somewhere else in week number 2. So definitely don't try to put a time clock on your blessing. Just do what you're supposed to do while you're there. And for the first time in 5 years, I have made a decision to be single again, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. But the thing is, I cannot function if I'm not at peace. I can't function if I'm constantly worrying about things that have absolutely nothing to do with my growth, my daughter's growth, things like that, and me doing what God has assigned me to do. So whatever, single mom, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to go where God tells me to go. And if I mess up, I mess up. But God has to use me. And he told me, I'm going to get you by yourself. And the people that I want in your life, I'll give them to you. Don't worry about that. You need to focus on me. So that's what I'm doing. Don't be afraid to make moves. And don't be afraid to be by yourself, because there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes God cannot use you if you cannot get to him by yourself. How many of us would love for someone to say, I tell you what, I want you to go on a cruise. I want you to go on a trip. Don't pack anything. Just get on a plane and go. And what you need will be there when you get there. That's how God is. And that's what he's been trying to tell me. Stop trying to take everything and have everything together right now. I have a destination for you. Don't pack anything. Just get on the plane and go. And be obedient to my will in the process. And everything that you need will be there when you arrive. And I really want you all to get that, because a lot of us are being tangled up in situations that we don't even have to be in or stay in, and you're stunting your growth. There's a garbage truck coming, so if you can't hear me, I'm sorry, because I'm outside. But another thing that I want us to understand is whatever anger you have or whatever bad memories you have, let it go. Because you're cutting yourself off from your blessings. A lot of us, God took this from me and God let this happen, so he doesn't love me. I'm just going to lash out. I'm just going to do to people what people have done to me. That's craziness. Because all you're doing is repeating the cycle and blocking your success, your progress, whatever. Even if you feel like you don't believe in God anymore, you just want to do your own thing, guess what? Whatever else you decide to do, you're devoting yourself to it. And even the act of devotion comes from God. Anything else that you're being loyal to, even though it's negative, you're doing an act that came from God. Loyalty and devotion, those are things that the enemy cannot give you because he doesn't have that. So if you're trying to lash out and if you're trying to hurt somebody, you're doing what the enemy wants you to do, which is destroy yourself. Everybody is a creation of God. So the enemy has no love for anything or anybody that is of God. That's including you. Even when you're doing wrong, God still loves you because you can wake up the next day. And if you don't, and you've harmed yourself in the process, the enemy is rejoicing. Because guess what? You were loyal to him and you're going to get nothing in return. Nothing at all. I want you to channel that into doing something with yourself. Doing something with your life. A lot of people, we sit around and we wait and we say, well, I know something's going to happen for me because what God has for me, it is for me. And that's true. But think about this. If you have a mailbox and you constantly get mail every day, your name is on it. So you know it's yours, but you're not going to get it. You're not checking the mail. Your mail is just piling up and piling up. And it's something for you. And some of you may say, well, it's bills. I don't want it anyway. And I understand. But the point I'm trying to make is, how are you going to get what God has for you from the mailbox into your hands and into your house? He's giving you things and opportunities and paths to go on, but it's just sitting in one place because you don't want to go get it. You want it to fall into your lap, and it's not going to happen like that. Be a part of your own progress. Favor is real, but it's for everybody. Anybody can have favor. It doesn't take being perfect. It just takes you being obedient. Take the steps that you need to take to get what it is that you are supposed to get. And everybody is deserving of favor. It doesn't matter what lifestyle you have, what you've come from, your thoughts, it can be changed. Don't let the enemy replay things in your mind and take up so much of your time that you feel like the way you are now is the way you're going to always be. That's the biggest trick of the enemy, is to lie to you. Because he knows how powerful you are and how great you are. And the fact that once you get it up in your mind to stop doing things that's not going to be conducive to your life or anybody else's, he knows that you will be a force to be reckoned with. And then he will have to leave you alone because he will have nothing else to do. That's the game that you need to be playing. Getting yourself away from the enemy. Doing things that are going to benefit you in this life. Because destruction, you may hurt somebody for a little while, but in the end, the game for the enemy is that you hurt yourself. If you can hurt yourself enough to make you want to leave this world or take somebody else's life, he's not high-fiving you. The enemy is not going to ever high-five you, even if you call yourself a worshiper. Because guess what? Even worship comes from God. Everything that you do comes from God. So there's nothing that you can do that would disappoint God to the fact that he will let you go. Even if you feel like you want to turn your back on him, he is still there. So just don't be afraid to be right, to live right, and make these good decisions. If there's something that you know isn't right, take control and just don't do it. Stop being powerless and being a victim. You come into the world with a purpose. You came into the world as a champion, not a victim. And you came in here alone. So if there are times in your life when you need to be alone to get what God has for you, do it. Be by yourself. Because the people that need to be in your life, God will send them to you. But as long as you don't think you're worthy enough to get the things that God has given you, and you keep running around in the same circles and doing the same things and then talking about it and complaining about it, you're doing that to yourself. Get up and check the mailbox and get what God has for you, because yes, what he has is for you, but you don't want to die with those things still in the mailbox with your name on them. Nobody else can get what he has for you. They may have the same dreams, they may get the same opportunities, but their mail has their name on it, not yours. So you can't worry about what anybody else is doing. All you can do is be the best you, regardless of what anybody else thinks, regardless of how you've been hurt, regardless of what pain you have. Because as long as you stay in that place, and keep reliving old memories and keep making yourself angry, you're doing what the enemy wants you to do, and he will never love you. He will never appreciate you, and he will never have you on his team, because he knows that you're still a child of God. No matter what it is you're going through, go and get what's yours. And if you have to do it by yourself, you do it by yourself. And then everything else will fall into place. Go get what you have, and don't be afraid of change, because that's the only way things will not remain the same. God bless you. Go out there and do it. Put your name on it. And stop being how everybody else wants you to be. Be how God wants you to be. Be how he sees you. Because there's nothing wrong with you in his eyes. There's nothing wrong with you. All he's waiting on you to do is believe it about yourself. God bless you and keep you. Go out there and make a name for yourself. I know you can do it. I know you can, because you wouldn't be here if you couldn't. Bye.